Greetings and bienvenue, Midnight Crew. Thank you for returning to this broadcast, and welcome to new viewers joining us for the first time. If you like a video, then feel free to subscribe.
Some viewers may find the following video disturbing. Viewer discretion is advised.
Spooky and random phone calls. Any experiences? I got one. We moved into a house about a decade ago. After about 8 years, out of the blue, we started getting random phone calls during the day. My mother would answer the phone, and they would disconnect straight away. This would happen on and off for about a year. We had a few theories. Either we were being cased out for a robbery. Both of us would often get the feeling we were being watched, especially at night. That house was creepy. Or it was my dad, who my mother hadn't seen in years. He's either dead or in prison. Our phone number may have been in the phone book. We weren't sure. We moved from that house almost 4 years ago. Too many weird things happened there. Before we moved, one of the wild birds we fed got poisoned and later died. That spooked us out the most. My mother never made the connection to the phone calls, but I often wondered if it was related or not. But we got the hell out of there. I don't know why we would have been targeted for such a thing.
When I was a teenager, I had a cell phone. Never used the number. A few months after having the number, started to get a call at midnight a few times a week from a private number. Half the time I'd answer it only to be greeted with what sounded like somebody running through woods with their phone either beside them or in a pocket. This would last as long as I'd stay on the phone. After a month, I got sick of it and started talking shit. As soon as I did, I heard raspy breathing. At first, I was happy it was something new, then realized something was up. I keep talking shit, telling whoever was on the line they were going to regret disturbing my 12 a.m. bubble baths with their stupid shit. A few seconds later, breathing stops and I hear water running. What? Start to think whoever this is wants me to be afraid. Fuck that. I ain't scared of nobody. Water sounds stop and I begin to hear a strange sound. Can't place it. Sound gets louder. Problem is, I'm not only hearing it from the phone now, but from the back part of the house. Realize it's the back door being fucked with. Get the idea to start laughing on the phone while I grab my dad's 12 gauge. Sounds stop. They start laughing. Wasn't quite so bothered until they started laughing. Then I felt doom and wanted to panic. Decide fuck it. Not gonna be a coward. Go upstairs and open the studio's window. That's the only way onto the roof. Get up there quietly and walk towards the backyard. See a tall guy in all black, standing in the middle of the backyard with a cell phone to his ear, laughing. Shortly contemplate shooting him. He hangs up, looks, and does nothing but stare. Tell him to fuck off before I kill his silly ass. He points up and yells out, "Run!" He turns around and bolts for the woods behind my house. I stand confused, and a few moments later see 2 more people in all black run into the woods. That terrified me. Told my dad, who was out of town. He flew back that night and set up booby traps everywhere. Calls stop. Nothing has happened since.
In 1996, I started law school at a big state school in the southern U.S. Think SEC football. Other than studying, I spent most of my time playing MUDs over the internet, until my school's IT dude cut me off saying I was wasting resources. That was fine with me. For like $20 a month, I could buy unlimited dial-up from some independent ISP and MUD all I wanted. Things were fine until I started getting a lot of dropped connections. Like every 20 minutes, my landline would disconnect. I lived in an apartment complex off campus. It was probably 50-50 grad students and local rednecks. I called South Central Bell, and they sent a guy out to check my line. He fixed the problem. My phone line had been tapped. Someone in this town where I had never lived and knew no one had tapped my phone to listen to my conversations. Whenever they tried while I was on the internet, It caused enough interference to drop the connection. It bugged the shit out of me, but what could I really do about it? I just put it behind me. Then I left town for the summer and had my mail held at the post office until I came back for year 2. I got back in August, picked up my mail, and had them resume normal mail service to my address. 2 months later, I stopped receiving mail completely. It didn't register with me until they cut off my electricity for failure to pay a bill I never received. The lady at the post office said someone had forwarded my mail but wouldn't tell me who or to where. It still puzzles me what the fuck was going on there. Looking back at what I posted, I might have given the wrong message concerning the post office. When I said the lady wouldn't tell me who or where my mail was forwarded to, it wasn't like she was trying to hide something. It was more like there had been a glitch in the system that was unexplainable, but she was able to restore my normal mail service. The only follow-up I have happened in 2011 at my high school's 20th reunion. It did not register with me then that it might relate to my phone tap and mail problems, and I certainly have no proof these are at all connected. We were a small high school, 120 in my graduating class. Everyone knew everyone else. I was drunk at the bar. I went outside to have a cigarette. Another classmate was there who approached me and said, "You know, Anon, we all knew you were in college town." He put out his cigarette and went back inside. I had hung out with this guy when I was a freshman because he was friends with my roommate. My roommate was kicked out before sophomore year, and I never really spoke to this asshole after that. 3 years in a small high school without 100 words between us, and he confronts me at a reunion saying he knew where I lived. In 2011, he thought it was important that I know that he knew where I lived from 1996 to 1999. He lived there too. Anyway, this guy says that to me out of the blue. I was and still am a bad drunk, so it didn't really register with me. But over the next few days, I came to see it as some sort of threat. I still did not even consider the connection between this and the phone tap or mail issue. At some point, I learned that he worked for the Drug Enforcement Agency. I cannot remember how. Maybe he told me at the reunion. Maybe someone else told me at the reunion. My high school had and still has a sophisticated alumni network that may have at one point churned that information up. That information bothered me. He was still living in that college town, but was employed by the DEA. Yes, there was a federal courthouse there, but a DEA office? DEA employees? In high school, this guy was a full-on druggie. It went beyond weed smoking. Now he is an agent? Again, I can't remember how I learned he was an agent, and I honestly could be misremembering. He has one of those names you can't really Google. Try to Google your friend named Park Lane, not his real name. Anyway, probably a poor, paranoia-induced addendum to my story. Appreciate the form to express it.
Be me. Live in an old house with lead paint and asbestos everywhere. As a result, my phone signal is weak. While talking on the phone, always hear an odd, consistent beeping. Wires apparently get crossed and I hear weird random things, that is, music or other people talking. Had 2 long-distance girlfriends I talked to for hours on end each night. The first girlfriend was named Kaylee, and we were about 14 to 15. Talked nightly, 3 to 4 hours for nearly 6 months. Never heard anything odd, but every so often the call would mess up and my phone would just start playing music until I hung up. She said that it just goes silent from her perspective. Assumed I was just picking up radio signals or something. Whatever. We eventually broke up and I stopped talking on the phone as often. Fast forward to about a year ago. fall for a girl named Anna, and start talking on the phone again, albeit much less. 1 to 2 hours and maybe 2 to 3 times a week. She had childhood trauma and was abused by her mom. Had just finished opening up to me about what happened. Phone just goes dead silent. Stays that way for nearly a minute. Keep asking if she was there with no response. Don't think anything of it. She could have just gone away from the phone. She was flighty. Start hearing a voice on the line. It's weird and garbled, like the person talking is a few feet from the phone. Oh neat, she's back. She just got caught up talking to her mom or something. There is another voice, but it's even farther from the phone, so it's digitalized garbage that I can't understand. Voices start escalating. After a few seconds, it devolves into a loud argument. Gets louder and louder. It's clearly one-sided. One person being yelled at. Screaming starts. Blood-curdling horror. Oh shit, she was just telling me her mom beat her. Now this? Stay on the line hoping that the bully mom will leave her alone and she'll pick up the phone. Can't make any words out. Occasionally hear stop, get out, or no. Normal arguing words. Other than that, just loud digital screaming. Stay on the line for 14 minutes. Sit the phone on the ground. It's loud enough for me to hear from across the room. Hands shaking, heart pounding. Screaming makes way to crying. Voice never gets closer to the phone. Stays digitalized. It hangs up. Freak the fuck out. Call her twice and she doesn't pick up. Call her a third time and it finally goes through. Yo, what's crack-a-lackin'? Freak out and explain what happened. Oh, it just started playing music on my end of the line, and I listened until my phone died. Sorry for not picking up. My phone hadn't turned back on yet. Fucking hell. What? Neither of us ever get an explanation. After a week or so, we stop talking about it. Don't think about it often. A month later, we split. I quit talking on the phone again. Fast forward a year and here I am. Sorry for the sudden end. I'm not a writer, and it was over pretty fast in real life. I've typed up the same experience before, but I didn't go into such detail, and it got like 1 U. Names are fake for obvious reasons.
Back in the good old days of home phones in small towns, I was 8 and a Minecraft YouTuber interacted with me over the phone. Told me to do things and call him daddy. I'd go into more detail, but I'm not sure if Minecraft YouTuber shit is welcomed as spooky. Don't really want to relive cringe shit.
Same thing happened to me when I was 11. He knew my name. He tracked me down after meeting me literally at church. I sensed what he was and stopped talking to him, but I'd already told him my name. So he just looked us up. This was the old days where almost everyone was in the phone book. The conversation was horrible. I hung up. He called back a week later but made a mistake. He told me he'd kidnapped my parents and would kill them if I didn't do what he wanted. Fair gamble since it was a weekday, but I knew my parents were asleep in the other room because they were both not working at the time. I turned the conversation around on him and scared him enough that he hung up. Then I told my parents. The police were called and shit went down. I never heard the end of it though. My parents didn't want to upset me more. I was terrified for years though because he knew where I lived. One time while driving through town, I thought I saw him crossing the street. I tell you this because decades later along comes the Megan's Law database. I get on it one day and look for him. It's been so long that sometimes I wonder if it was all a dream. My parents both died kinda young, so I can't ask them. Welp, I found him. He has lived in an apartment 2 blocks from where I thought I saw him crossing the street for over 30 years, so it probably was him. Here he is. And pick related. Fuck Minecraft YouTubers, man. They should all be executed.
This was about 5 years ago, and a lot of friends, colleagues, family, college classmates, acquaintances, etc. had access to my number, so it was not paranormal probably. Story as follows. Anyway, the house next door was empty and run down. Would always get aggravated because bush, tree, and weeds from the empty house's yard would hit windows at night, until I got pissed off and cut it down. That house had all kinds of cement and concrete statues and abandoned outdoor furniture that weeds had grown over. Then the unknown calls start, first one accusing me of stealing the newspaper. Knowing the neighbors around me beyond the empty house, I knew that call did not come from them. Caller said something to the extent of, "Do not make me come over there." Well, I was not home and found it all to be rather funny, having a dark or odd sense of humor. But I am not a thief, so I did not take any papers. Plus, I read the news online for free. Come on now, even ghosts, etc. should get with the times. Unknown calls continue though, for around 6 to 8 months. Most happen when I am not home. Except the unidentified caller does not speak after the paper incident. Decided someone or something is trying to mess with me, so I will start being creepy back. Sometimes I would hear breathing on the other end of the line, so it had to be listening. Decide this person, entity, or whatever is sad and needs a friend, so maybe I'm helping by being a weirdo. Answering and claiming to know the individual, laughing into the receiver, trying to get it to talk, claiming to be an oogie boogie monster myself, telling it I get sad and have issues too, just so it does not feel bad for calling, even though sometimes after class or at work, it was rather inconvenient. Think the last couple of calls I actually offered to pay for its coffee if it wanted to meet. Of course, it did not speak, so I think it decided to give up if it was attempting to scare me, or got tired of listening to me either way. The house was rented around a year after the calls stopped, but that did not last too long. Looks like a broken noose hanging from the tree in the backyard now, and from what I have heard, it is empty again. This is perhaps the only paranormal part. Did have some bad luck though when the unknown calls were happening. 3 pets died randomly within months of each other. First ran out and got hit by a car. Second got outside and while driving fell out from underneath my car. Was awful. Third, the vet could not find anything wrong with her, but I found her dead in the kitchen a few mornings after taking her to the vet. None of these pets were ever allowed outside, so it does not make a lot of sense in that respect as to how they managed to get outside. Never let them out, and they were all healthy prior to the calls starting. I loved my pets, so that bothered me. But I have also lost a lot of friends and relatives to death both prior to the calls and after, so no coincidence there. Though not rational, I sometimes feel like God or something puts me into situations involving sad, emotionally imbalanced, sick or dying people or animals. Would be here for a long time if I went through a rundown of everything odd or unexplained that has happened to or around me. And I do not want to go off topic since I rarely lurk or post on 4chan anyway.
I didn't receive this call, but was a part of giving the spook to a friend's neighbor's kid. Living in Las Vegas as a kid, with my older brother, who was a young teen and was friends with my friend's older brother. Also with my friend and his older brother at their house. My brother has a CB radio that picks up nearby phone calls. We turn it on and hear the neighbor kid talking to his dad on the phone, asking if he can spend the night at a friend's house. Dad says okay, and that he loves him. My friend and his brother had the neighbor kid's number. My brother calls the house and imitates his dad, I know what the fuck you did. When I get home, you're in a load of fucking shit. You absolutely cannot go spend the night at your friend's. Go to your room and stay there until I get home, because I'm gonna beat your ass." The kid, the whole time, was sobbing and asking what he did and that he was sorry, almost screaming in terror. Hang up laughing hysterically. To this day, we wonder what the kid told his dad when he got home and what the dad thought of it all. They have to still talk about it from time to time. This all happened in the mid-90s when I was a kid.
Before I can talk about the call, I have to give a little background. Be me, 5 years old. Grandpa dies of a ruptured aorta. Grandma is widowed. She keeps his stuff safe. Fast forward a few years. Grandma's only kid with my grandpa fucks up big time. Uncle is a mama's boy. Grandma protected his ass. They move out of state in a hurry. They leave some stuff behind. Grandpa's stuff was among that stuff. Grandma never wanted to come back. I'd fly over like once a year or so. Find out about the box years after she moved. She said she didn't want to bother the new owners of the house. Now here's where it gets interesting. Years later, Grandma dies. I remember the box. Drive over to her old house. Find out through a neighbor that the guy who bought the house from her died. On the same day, Grandma died. Holy shit.mp3. Go to the funeral home. Pay my respects. Explain to one of his daughters the whole situation. Let's call her Charlene. Your grandma left a lot of stuff behind, but my mom had Alzheimer's and had a tendency to throw stuff away for no reason, said Charlene. Good chance that even my grandpa's model ship collection was long gone. I leave my number with her and say goodbye. Go to the house, give it one last look, and drive home. A couple of months later, I was home taking a nap when my phone rang. It was a number I didn't recognize. When I answered, the lady on the other side said she was one of Charlene's sisters, asking if I was still looking for the box, actually, boxes. And I told her that I had talked to Charlene sometime before that, and she had checked the house. The boxes were already gone. Charlene's sister insisted I meet with her, but in a way that made it sound like the fate of the world depended on it. I told her it was okay, and that I already accepted the fate of my grandpa's old stuff, but that I'd call her if I find anything. I didn't call her. Her tone was so unnerving that you'd swear those boxes had a formula for infinite energy or some shit.
Be me. Home alone since my parents and siblings went to pick my sister up for the winter holiday, and that took a 6-hour car trip. Be stuck here since I needed to work that day. It's around midnight, and they call me to tell me that they'll stay with my sister for the night, and that they'll hop in the car first thing in the morning. Yeah, okay, whatever. I was just about to go to sleep. I hang up and was pretty tired from work. Get up to lock the door and turn off the lights. At the very second, I enter my room again. My phone starts ringing. The number was my dad's. I pick up and just hear a very faint sound. Oh. Hello? Dad? The sound starts to get louder and louder. I start to get chills all over my body. Get spooked and hang up. Feel like there's something watching me for whatever reason. I'm pretty nervous in general. My mind could be fucking with me, I say to myself. But I stay spooked and do not sleep at all. Put my phone in airplane mode for the rest of the night. To this day, I flinch a little when someone calls me.
Back in 2014, some friends of mine wrote my phone number and address on a dozen different bathroom stalls with "Call Anon for a good time." Once every 3 or 4 months, I get a phone call or text from a random number asking for a good time. Disappoint the poor fellas every time. Get a phone call a few weeks ago at 11 p.m. Hey, is this Anon? Yeah, who's this? I was just calling about the good time? Yeah, I know. Sorry, that was a prank by some dickheads. No good time. No good time? Fucking wrong, buddy. I drove a long way for this good time. Excuse me. 3 loud bangs on the back door. Look towards the door. 6 feet 5 inches-ish, skinny neckbeard with camo cargos, and a Sonic the Hedgehog t-shirt just staring at me through the door. And he's holding a fucking machete. Run to the closet, grab a rifle, come back. He's gone. Spend the next few hours sitting in the corner with the rifle. Almost shoot my roommate when he comes home drunk at 4 a.m. knocking shit over. I actually saw him a few days ago at Walmart. Same shirt, same pants. Don't know if he recognized me, but I just decided to go ahead and get the hell out of there before he did.
Didn't happen to me, but happened while I was under the same roof. Be 6 years old. Go on holiday to Disneyland Paris with my parents and grandma. Stay in Davy Crockett Ranch, which is a bunch of log cabin type holiday homes. The next morning, wake up for breakfast, full of excitement about going to Disneyland. Grandma is already up, sitting on the couch looking kind of shell-shocked. Ask if she's okay. She sort of snaps out of it and says, "Oh, I'm fine. Anon, sorry." Too excited for Disneyland for my child brain to process concern. Fast forward a few years. Be in my young teens, reminiscing about Disneyland with my parents and grandma. Suddenly remember my grandma's weird little episode. Ask her what happened at the time. She tells me that she heard the phone ring in the middle of the night, got up to answer it, says she heard a voice on the other end say, "Lily," her name. "That is you, isn't it, Lily?" Voice was identical to her dad, who'd been dead for about 15 years at that time. Says she was too shocked to reply before the line went dead. Sat up for the rest of the night, unable to sleep, wishing she had answered him. I'd be certain she was dreaming or something, but she's a serious woman who doesn't have an imaginative bone in her body, and she insists she was fully awake. Weird as shit.
Raised by my father's ex-wife. Dad was an alcoholic, mother was an addict, so he beat her out for full custody. Once he realised being a single parent wasn't worth social security and child support, he dumped me off on his ex-wife. He died when I was 15. She passed away in a car accident when I was 20. She'd moved down to North Carolina a year and a half after I moved out. 6 years later, I'm buying my first home, trying to stay up north. One day I get a call and the number comes up with Stepmom. Was actually my childhood nickname for her, but that's private. Heart gets caught in my throat. I answer it, hear nothing, so I hang up and look at the number. 984 area code, but familiar. It doesn't have a contact name, so I'm weirded out by the fact it showed up as her name. Assume it is one of her kids trolling me. Bad blood. I inherited 90% of everything, and they had to split 10% between the 6 of them. I call back, heated, ready to cuss someone out. A man answers, but I do not know him. Claims it is a new phone. Hang up and try to make sense of it. Same area code as her and her nickname. But since her passing, I've not only gotten new phones and lost my contacts half a dozen times, but my current phone is on a completely different carrier. Since I had a bunch of North Carolina tags up from looking up the number, I thought I'd search for homes for fun, since I wanted to stay up north. Ended up buying a nice place on 3 acres in a small town, living alone for the first 3 months while my boyfriend finishes the busy season back home. A phone call one early morning wakes me up groggily. A young woman's voice with a hint of an accent asks me, how do you like it down here? I think I said it was heaven, something to that effect, and that I'd call her back since I was still in bed. When I woke up, I remembered the call, which is weird because I'm normally a zombie in the morning. Check my phone. 984 area code again. Not my area code down here. Call back. Not in service. My phone ended up dying that very day too. Outgoing calls wouldn't work. Incoming people couldn't hear me. Got a new one. Didn't save the second number before I traded it in. Creepy as hell. What is worse is I formally met my neighbour across the road yesterday, and he told me how the owner's sister used to live here. Said she was dying here, but she didn't die in the house, so I shouldn't worry. But that's why he was selling it for quick and for cheap. I was comforted when I thought the second caller may have been my stepmom in some way. When I think that it may have been that woman though, it makes me want to pack up and drive on home.
Oh, look, another warning for the one at the end. 2004-ish 17-year-old weenie. Get a call on our landline. Yes, those still existed at that time. Essay-sounding guy speaks up. Aye, motherfucker, you like fucking around with other Vatos, Heinas, or what? Da fuck? Hear a woman sobbing in the background. I was thinking my buds were pranking me. The fuck are you talking about, man? I asked. You fucking heard me, Holmes. I'm gonna fucking kill you and this bitch right here, you fucker. Hey man, you got the wrong number. Leave me alone. I hang up the phone. Not even 5 seconds later, the phone rings. Answer the phone. Hey, puto, don't think you can hang up on me. I know where you live. I'm gonna kill you. And I hear woman wailing in background and a mound slapping sound. This fucking bitch. Oh shit, .jpg. Hey dude, calm down, man. You got the wrong number. Don't do nothing crazy. Fuck you. I know where you at, Jamie. I'ma blast you, foo. Nah, man, I'm not no Jamie. I'm not even Mexican. What? Woman keeps violently sobbing. You got the wrong number, man. Please don't hurt nobody, dude. I got the wrong number? Yeah. Awkward silence between us while the woman's moaning is ongoing. Sorry, bro. Click. I called the cops afterwards, but don't know what happened to this Jamie fellow. No murders occurred recently afterwards. Maybe me getting a wrong phone call prevented a double homicide?
I hope that you enjoyed tonight's broadcast. If you enjoyed tonight's story, then please subscribe to the channel as more Greentext will appear daily. A new broadcast will appear when the clock strikes midnight Central Time.